It's been a while since I've done an update on the care and feeding of litter boxes. It's always an evolving thing throughout the years, depending on a lot of things, just whim some of it. I've switched over now to all these identical litter boxes, which are really wonderful boxes, so that I'm sticking with them for now. I am currently maintaining 10 litter boxes. I recently saw a video on how to clean the boxes, and I was sure that it was a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, because the guy put on gloves and a mask, surgical mask, and then he proceeded to clean this tiny little box, and when he poured the clean litter back over the clean box, the bottom of the box was just filthy. You just don't leave the bottoms of your boxes dirty. In other words, you should be able to tilt the box up at any given time, at any whatever, and there's nothing going to be stuck to the bottom. There's never going to be any of those little circles that you see. And in fact, if you maintain your boxes correctly, you can get by without ever cleaning the box. I mean, dumping it completely and cleaning it with bleach or whatever. Anyway, I never do that. A lot of people do, and that's fine. And there's a lot of different kinds of litters which require different methods and that sort of thing. So anyway, we're going to talk about what I do, and that's not necessarily what everybody else does. I've been using Dr. Elsie's clumping cat litter for over 15 years and have been quite a proponent for it, because I did love it for many years, but in the last few months it's been clumping to the sides, it's been sticking to the sides of the boxes, and so I thought maybe my boxes were getting old, or the cats were getting old, or whatever. In any case, it was starting to get to be a bit of an irritant, since I do not like debris on the sides of my boxes. So I'm experimenting with another brand of litter which is showing some promise. So we're going to see, I now have about half of my boxes with the Dr. Elsie's, and the other half has Frisco, which is a litter that is made and sold by Chewy.com. So I'm not selling or promoting one over the other. It's just, this is my experience. And so I now have about half and half of the boxes, and we'll see what it looks like. The first boxes we're going to look at is the ones with the Frisco in it. Looking at the tracking here, it's a much finer grain, so I expected the tracking to be more, but we'll see. You can decide for yourselves. This is the Frisco, and it indeed has a clump stuck in the corner. Corners are bad places for the clumps to be stuck. As you can see, it knocks off relatively easily. By each litter box I have its little caddy with the, this is a vinegar water solution, 50-50. Paper towel, scoop, everything right there nearby, and wipe off the side. It wipes off nice and easy. I'm still using the Litter Champ, which you can see me over the gray thing over there to the left, which I'm still pleased with. But slide all the litter down to one side and then scoop and make sure that there's nothing stuck on the bottom or the sides. The boxes stay clean, you won't have any scent. You won't need any baking soda or scented whatever. So I always get unscented litter, and this is the Frisco unscented multi-cat clumping litter. And you can see over to the left side there that there's a little bit of litter stuck to the side. This is just the dry litter. The sides are a little bit damp. If it's clean litter, that's okay. I don't care. But if it's part of a clump stuck to the side, that's not acceptable. It has to be wiped down. Keep the sides and bottoms of your boxes clean, and you won't have any odor. And scoop often. I scoop twice a day. I scoop in the morning. The boxes are pretty much full, the fullest, and then I will make sure they're all scooped before I go to bed. And then if I'm having anybody coming over or whatever, I often do a spot scoop in the middle of the day. Wipe down the sides. If there's anything there, you know, sometimes I'll do it just 'cause, but normally if I see a little bit of debris on the sides, I'll wipe it down. And that's with the vinegar solution squirted onto the paper towels. This is another box full of the Frisco. You can see how the clumps sort of clump before it gets to the urine gets too far deep into the litter. With the Dr. Elsie's, I was actually experiencing it with the deep litter and it having it get clear to the bottom and then sticking. Nothing is worse than this clump stuck in the middle of the bottom. It's hard to clean up. And I remember the olden days when I used to just scrape that off the bottom and just, you know, leave the ring of dirty litter at the bottom. And over the years, I've gotten away from that. These are the Dr. Elsie's litters, and we're going to look at the tracking on that. I'm sweeping that up now. And I'd say the tracking, you know, the litter out of the boxes is comparable. I don't think one is any better or worse than the other. You're always going to have cat litter to sweep up. Now here we go. See, I got desperate on these clump things and I went out and got some paint scrapers. They work pretty good. I was trying to pick these clumps up with paper towels, but they just stick to the side, like, as you can see, like concrete. So the scrapers is what I had resorted to, and then a friend of mine had suggested this other litter, so I thought I'd give it a try. That's the Frisco litter. Anyway, this is the Dr. Elsie's clumping clay. Here we go again with the Dr. Elsie's clumping clay. We got a clump on the side. It did knock off. You'll notice that with the Frisco, it knocks off a little bit easier, and then it's just, if it actually does stick to the side, which is less common than with the Dr. Elsie's, it's easier to wipe off with the Frisco because it's usually just a light layer of fine grain sand. Here's Dr. Elsie's again, another clump stuck to a corner or the rounded part. Here we go with the scraper again. Now it's stuck to the scraper. I was getting a little bit impatient with this thing, this sticky stuff. As you notice, I don't use any gloves. I noticed that somebody, a comment on YouTube comment said, well, why doesn't anybody use gloves for these things? Well, you know, if you're scooping litter boxes a couple times a day, stopping for the gloves is just kind of ridiculous. Just wash your hands afterwards. If you actually manage to touch anything, okay. So always run the litter down to one end and then scoop it up. That way you get everything, and you also can keep the bottoms of your boxes clean. The bottoms as well as the sides.